What's going on, guys? This is Editor D, and this is what I look like. Kind of weird to show you guys what I look like, but I decided to do it. This is where I edit stuff. This is where I play Xbox. Right here. Now you know. Whoopity-doo. So today I'm going to put together a computer, a gaming PC that is, that's sitting right over here, which is a little weird for me. Never really been much of a PC gamer, but don't worry, I'll still be playing the new Xbox when it comes out and the old Xbox, because I have too many friends that just won't make the switch to PC. So today I thought I'd go ahead and do a little video about me putting together a PC, which I've never done. And trust me, I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube. So, yeah. You want to do this? Let's do this. Alright. I'm back. Alright, so I've got everything stacked up here and decided to save you all from doing like a bullshit unboxing thing. I know that's exciting for some people, but I don't get it really. But so here's everything. I'm going to go through all the components and then I'll just unbox everything, and you won't see that through the magic of editing. And let's start out with a case. I'm not used to these enormous, you know, Star Wars looking, gigantic, gaudy Honda Racer car cases, but I know it needs to be really big and move a lot of airflow and have like 600 fans in it. So there it is. It's the Cooler Master. What the hell is this thing called? HAF something. It's big. It's really big and has lots of room for things I'll never need. Okay, the motherboard, everybody wants to know about that. I got Gigabyte Z77X up 5 TH. TH for Thunderbolt. There's two Thunderbolt ports. Basically it's LGA 1155 socket and blah blah blah. So there it is. Two Thunderbolt ports are good for me because I like to use those on the newer hard drives. My iMac also has two of those, and I can put all my game footage on there, and everything flows at 10 gigs per second, gigabits. So anyway, there's the motherboard. It controls everything. Also, I wanted to go ahead and say thanks to MoBo56, who is a friend of mine, girlfriend's brother actually. He knows this stuff. He's been a gamer for years, and he helped me make the choices here. Got it all from Newegg if you're curious, and blah blah blah. So thanks, Rob, for all the help in helping me pick out the right components and setting me up with something that I shouldn't have to upgrade for quite some time, I hope. Also wanted to say thanks to my brother Justin for doing basically the same thing as MoBo, which was helping me pick components and also listening to me on the telephone when something seemed not right. So thanks, Justin, for your help as well. Alright, so there's that. Everybody else, I'm sure, wants to know about the video card. GeForce GTX 680 motherboard, motherfucker. And I went with the GeForce GTX 680. 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory. Anyway, so there, that should be plenty. I was going to do 2 graphics cards, but it was kind of overkill, and this should be good. And if I ever want to SLI another one later down the road, I can, but this ought to be really good. Just got a Corsair 750 watt power supply, real exciting. Got a 2 terabyte internal hard drive. You've seen those before, and I'm also coupling it with a 256 gig solid state drive for the OS. Got an extra USB 3.0 card that came with something for free from Newegg. I mean, there's already like 7 USB 3.0s on this thing. It's ridiculous. There's way more ports than I'll ever need, but and you know, on that guy. I actually have 32 gigs of RAM, which is probably a little overkill too, but you know, then it's already there. So if I ever need to upgrade, I have to do it less often. So there it is, and memory got way less expensive. Oh yes, you probably want to know what processor. That would be the i7 3770K, which is using what, Ivy Bridge? Huh? It's got an Ivy Bridge, so that's cool. So yeah, that ought to be nice and fast. Got a Blu-ray drive for the fuck of it, because I'm gonna have to install the OS and then probably never touch this again, because I don't even watch Blu-rays on my television. It's kind of a dead format. So, but you know, it's always nice to have one in case, you know, 2009 comes along. And of course the fan here for the CPU cooling fan. You know, really nice deal. Didn't go with a water cooler. Don't really think I need to. I don't plan on doing like a whole lot of overclocking or overclocking at all, for that matter, at least not at first. I have to learn. I don't even know how to use Windows, people. I barely know how to use Windows because, like I said, I've been a Mac guy my whole life. So, yeah, that's going to keep things cool, and it's got a lot of copper fins on it. So that's it. Let's start taking things apart and ruining this computer. The power supplies. Thanks a lot, motorcycle. I own 2 motorcycles actually. It's like I've killed Medusa. So I have installed the power supply here, 750 watt, like we said before. Just 4 bolts that go in the back. You put in with a screwdriver. Very simple, very easy. Ran all the wiring through the back here. I don't know what I'm going to need yet. I don't know, but it's going to be getting routed all around. So for now, I just shoved it all back there. It's got this little case that sits over top like this. I'll probably have to pull that back off and put it back on many times, but for now, there it is. So that's set up. I also put in a little backing plate here for the motherboard with all the, you know, the printed stuff on the other side, so you actually know what is an Ethernet port and what is a USB port, in case you didn't know. I'm grabbing onto this thing, make sure I'm not gonna shock it and ruin it, because that would suck. But anyway, so I've done that, and I just almost lost my processor. Awesome. So this just flips up real simple like, okay? And you have to pull off the little plastic cover, just like that. And then you can see all the delicate stuff in there. Here is my processor, and you only want to handle these by the side. So there's going to be little tick marks on either side. There's also an arrow pointing one direction, and then you find the tick marks on this, and I believe on the case cover here it should tell you, yeah, there's an arrow pointing right here. So I need to put the arrow going this direction, and then you get it down nice and low, and you literally just drop it in place like that. No pressure, no pushing. Flip this back over. You can lower it down with this end. Should slide underneath there. And then it just locks back in place. And processor is married to motherboard. I'm going to go ahead and install the CPU fan. And I've put the plastic sort of base plate around it. The fan will be sitting like this, flowing air this direction towards the back of the case, and pushing all the hot air out the ass. Here is the thermal paste. It's Arctic Silver 5. I just love advertising. So anyway, the fan actually came with some, but I got this too, and who knows, I'm sure they're pretty much the exact same thing in a different tube. But so we're going to put a little bit of that right in the center, not a whole lot. Alright. right. Whoa, whoa, stop coming out. Stop coming out. Okay, just wipe that off there and cap it. I don't know if this is like really bad for you to touch. I think it is. So in the Newegg video, they do this thing where you use a little plastic bag that you get from some of your other stuff, and you just sort of go in, and it feels a little awkward, like a little finger condom, to create a thin layer, which this looks like a damn mess. Ugh. What did I just do with my Arctic silver? Alright, so put a little bit more right here. Wrap up this cancer-causing agent, whatever it is. This really is a pain in the ass. This is my least favorite part so far. Alright, so I'm going to switch to using this little piece of cardboard because that Newegg method really sucks. Yeah, see, this is better. A nice flat. Yeah. So remember that thing I said about the plastic bag in your finger? Don't do that. Do a little tiny piece of cardboard. So there it is, folks. Perfectly covered, very thin layer of thermal paste. Alright, so now that that's on, we can actually place the fan on it. And like, yeah. We got a thermal paste on there, we got a couple of gold screws, and a little bracket here that goes right across. There's a little deal there so you can't screw it up. So do the first one. Beautiful. Fuck. Get this thing out without fucking anything up, so that's awesome, because I can't even get my finger down in there. Much less, you know, I don't want to stab the board with a screwdriver or something. This is ridiculous. Very expensive game of operation. So let's try this again. A couple of twists in there to get it started. Go to the other side. And whoa! So that was really awesome. I just catapulted the screw all the way across the room. Guess I didn't have it down in there at all where I thought I did. Now, I got the back one in place first. I'm just going to use my finger to sort of line this up and give it a little bit of a little pressure so that I'm not pushing with my finger and not my screwdriver, because that would suck if I stabbed this board and then I would have to go out and kill somebody. Just gonna make sure these are seated. We're gonna move on. Alright, so we got our fan on, and it's plugged into the CPU fan slot on the motherboard. I'm gonna flip this bitch around and install the Vengeance Ram. It's a Vengeance. Fucking advertising. Why couldn't they just call it like Ram 62 version? Since I am using all 4 slots, I don't need to figure out which of the 4 I should use. So I'm using all 4. Normally if you're using 2 cards, you have to either use just the gray or just the black slots, and you can read the manual and find out what that would be. But I'm using all of it. So there's a little notch in here that fits into the notch there, so you basically, you know, RAM is pretty idiot proof. You can't pop open all these clips here. You pretty much can't fuck it up. Clicks in place, press down, click in place. Number 1, I order you to take a number 2. Alright, number 3. Okay, and number 4. So much vengeance. I think at this point I'm about ready to mount it into the case. I've already put on, I know you can't see this, but I've put on these little raised brass inserts in all the correct slots on the back of the board or the back of the case, which fit into all the little holes on the motherboard. But you knew that already, didn't you? It's good green tea. It's healthy. Don't want to spill this in there. Wouldn't be good. Just, oh, whoa, you know, ah. I've laid the case sideways on the table, in case you didn't notice, and I put in all the little brass connectors. Just so you know, there's like this little silver cap thing that fits on the little brass raised connectors that is also fits a screwdriver, so that you don't have to go get another little tiny wrench, which was a nice thing that came with the case. So if you're into that sort of thing, great job, Cooler Master. Alrighty, so let's get this guy put down in here. Move this fan cable out of the way and press it over till, there you go, everything pops into place. And now I'm going to bolt these down. Everybody's favorite, the video card. Alright, so it is the top PCI slot here. Click that little guy open. I've already removed the 2 slots that it's going to take up, because it does take up 2 slots. Yeah. So, this is real difficult. You basically just find the slot there, push it down in until it's good firm, and then there's a little click there on the side. And we'll go ahead and put these screws back in. That's pretty much the graphics card. Motherboard, the graphics card, the fan, the power supply, a little more tea. This case has got these quick pull-out deals, so you literally just put your drive in there. This thing spreads apart like this. There's these little rubber grommets in here to reduce the noise and vibration, and they fit right into the side, so there's no screws or anything going into the the case or anything, which is kind of nice. It makes everything really nice and quick. So I've already done that, and I'm just going to slide these in. Slides in, nice, okay. And this has got an adapter. This top bay came with the adapter for this. So you spread that apart, but you actually have to literally screw down the solid state drive to the adapter and then pop it in place. So let's slide that guy in there. So that was pretty simple. This is supposed to be the easiest of all things. The top little, I don't know, the 100 bays that you get here for what I don't know, but you know, it's always nice to have room. So this literally, you pop out. Let's see how that guy's in there, but wow, you literally have to remove the metal on these. Okay, that's fine. And then this, supposedly you don't need to do anything but just slide this in place and it should hold it. From what I've read, like this, I think you just push, when you push these down, yeah, it literally just locks in place. Like that. So now that's in place. That's pretty damn easy, right? What's next? Alright, so at this point I am wiring everything up from the front panel and the fans. So I've got fans all connected to their various, this fan here is connected here. Everything is run through the back or whatever. Tried to tighten up some of the wires. And then the panel here, which has got 2 USB 3.0s, a FireWire 400, like anybody uses that. I would have liked the FireWire 800 because I have many of the drives that work on that, but eSATA, which is kind of nice, and 2 regular USB, and then you've got your microphone and headphone jack right here, and then a couple of other lights like your hard drive working light. It blinks and lets you know that it's doing things. All that went through the back out this rubber grommet here and is now all plugged up into its proper spot on the motherboard. And now I'm going to start wiring up the power. Alright, so I made a bunch more connections. Sorry the light's a little weird. It's getting later, sun's going down, so I had to put some lights over here so I probably look like I'm at a campfire. I basically made all the rest of the connections, and I'll go through them with you. Jesus Christ! It's a lot of rubber on the bottom, and now it's heavy as hell. All the power supply wires now tucked under this little thing as best as I can. They won't go back much further than that, but they're pretty tight in there. But ran out the 2 PCI power cables here for the GeForce video card. Ran one up through the back and into the CPU. That is marked CPU. Then we got the large cable here. It pretty much runs all the other little stuff on the board. And let's see, what else did I run? You saw, I think I already talked about all of that stuff that goes to the front of the board, and your on-off switches and all that stuff. And then basically on the drive here, good Lord, you've got that's just zip ties. I didn't break anything. You've got the SATA cable here and the SATA power cable here. I think it's called SATA power, I think, but it's the thinner power. It's not the big 4-prong deal. And then let me flip it around here. So here's the back. It's not quite as clean as the front, but that's kind of not necessary. I mean, I just made sure that everything's going to fit fine underneath my case when I put it back on. I could tie all these up actually, but they're pretty, you know, they're actually not in the way of the fan or anything like that. And I mean, it's like I'd have to go in and individually tie each one. So as long as I can get the back cover on and everything sits really nicely without anything pinching or like hitting the fan blade here or anything like that, I should be good to go. But I think that's all the connections that need to be made. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I could tie down all this stuff here to the, they have little places to put zip ties, but I mean, I'm not going to be moving this thing a lot and whatever, so it's kind of pointless. Now there is a, on the other panel, this goes on the other side, there's one more fan switch which I'll have to put on, you know, once I put this on there, and then of course will go on the motherboard as well. Comes with this adapter in case you're using, all the fans came with these actually, in case you're using a fan controller, which would be on the front of the computer. I'm not using one, so get rid of that. I know I'm supposed to, like, you know, do a test and all that stuff to make sure everything's working right. I believe this is how this goes on here. Yeah, this is it. But fuck it. You know, I'm not going to do the test. I mean, if I have to take everything back out again, I will. Good Lord, how does this thing fit in there? Is that it? Does it just go on there like that? No, that can't be right. That's not right. Okay. So let's try this again. This is kind of nice, so I can check. It goes in this way. So you just sort of close it down like that. Oh, that's easy. No pressure on it at all. And just check to make sure I haven't pinched anything. Everything looks good to go in there. And then just gonna grab these thumb screws. Come on, buddy. Let's flip it back around again. I guess at this point I get to plug it up and plug it into an HDMI monitor, which I'll be using my one right over there, and see if I get anything on the screen, like the motherboard splash screen. I think. Hi. So everything's plugged up and got an HDMI cable plugged in. Of course, it doesn't show anything yet. The little slider here to turn the power on. Are you guys as scared as I am? I don't know why I'm scared about this. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? I mean, I could just fry the whole fucking thing and be out about $2 grand. All right, well, let's turn it on. Gotta turn the power on the back. The power supply is not on. Have a look at that sweet ass, huh? Okay, oh, I see a light on. Let's try this again. Oh, I'm hearing fans. Turn the old fan LED on just to make sure that's going. Okay, got fan going there. There's a beep. Let's see if we can get, oh, HDMI showing up. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Come on, show me something. Yeah, it's actually pretty quiet. So I heard the beep, but I'm not getting any image. So what does that mean? It says A9 on the motherboard. All right. So it helps if you want to actually make this work. If you plug the HDMI cable into the video card HDMI slot and not the motherboard HDMI slot. So when you're done laughing, come back and finish the vid. Alrighty, you finished? Alright, good. I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button now and see what we get. Everything seems to be spinning up fine. Let's see if we hear a beep. Oh! Aha! Alright, so it looks like I have to decide how I want to continue with the BIOS setup. I want to continue with some dinner and quite possibly installation of Windows. So there it is, folks. Editor D, PC Gamer, coming soon. Thanks for watching.